Hello guys and welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. Once again I'm Greg and this is the starting 11 show. The first time I'm putting one of these together in a long time that we won our last league game. Of course there's the humiliation with Palace in the middle, but we've got to try and divorce ourselves from that a little bit and say we're carrying on good league form because we've got to look for any positives we can. The first question that brings up is, do we go with the same and hope that that something to do with the shape and something to do with consistency can carry us on to another point and or another 3 points, and suddenly we start to build momentum based on this shape? The answer would be yes, but of course Alan is now going to suffer that suspension period. He's still got a couple games left of that, including this one. So him not being in the midfield, Gabamin off on loan, Delph injured, and Davies injured all means that there's a big struggle now as to how we can create that consistency because we don't have a like-for-like player in the midfield. I mentioned some of the injuries there just as an update. Townsend also out, of course, and Yerry Mina is a couple of weeks away apparently. And then Alan, suspension. So the question then is, do we go with what we had and substitute Alan in for a different midfielder, maybe Donny van der Beek, maybe Andre Gomez, or do we revert back to the back five and hope that that can stop us shipping the goals? I'd say that's a risky scenario, swapping back to the back five. We seem to actually concede more goals when we go back to the back five. I think over the last few games where I've compared the formations and how well we've been defensively, we're worse with more midfielders because we're worse with more defenders because we're just adding more incompetent defenders to the pitch. So I'm going to stick with the same shape, and we're just going to have to substitute Alan in with someone else, and it's not going to be nice. But anyway, Pickford in goal, of course. Backline, I think, will look. And this is another point of contention. A lot of people after the international break would say Patterson jumps in. He should jump in if Frank Lampard's brave and cares about promoting youth as much as his portfolio or his past managerial appointments would suggest. Patterson would be in there. He was very bright from the, I'm not going to pretend I've watched the games, but the snippets I saw on Twitter, which, any player can look good, but also what I've heard testimony from the fans that did watch is that he looks very bright. But I am going here with what I think we will see, not what I would like to see. I would absolutely like to see Patterson, but I think Coleman will probably start because Patterson is just not featuring at all. I think we'd probably see him for a few minutes here, but I'll go with Coleman. Then the back two will, of course, be the back two of death, which is Holgate and Keane. There's so many mistakes to be made between those two. And at left back, I think we'll see Ben Godfrey. Yeah, that'll be my guess. That'll be what I think we'll see. Godfrey, Keane, Holgate, and Coleman. And then, of course, Doucouré will be one of the two midfielders, and it's a question of Van der Beek or Alan. Both have been quite bad. Donny van der Beek has shown glimpses of good. Their baseline's both here. Van der Beek has shown glimpses of good. Andre Gomez has shown glimpses of one of the worst midfielders we've ever seen. So just based on those averages pushing him up, I think we'll see Van der Beek. And then Doucouré will probably be asked to do what Alan does. And that's a mistake on both fronts because I don't think Alan is suited for what Alan's asked to do, and I don't think Doucouré will be either. Both of which have much better attributes further up the pitch, can do a lot more than they're tasked with in the current system. But I don't think Donny van der Beek has those physical attributes at all. So I think he'll be playing Doucouré's role. Doucouré will be playing Alan's role. And then in front of them, we'll see Anthony Gordon, another young player, had a good international break. Scored a tidy little volley. I think the issue there is, not the issue, the big positive is he was already integrated with the first team by the time Lampard came in. So he's sort of been part of the furniture in this transitional period, which has been very good. He wasn't just dropped off straight away. So I think we'll see him continue to play. And then it's a very similar team to the team against Newcastle, of course. But then I think we'll see Richarlison on one side, Gray on the other side, and Calvert-Lewin through the middle. and we just got to hope that this is enough to pick up some points, carry on picking up some points, and get us towards the end of the season with enough points to buoy us off the bottom. So that's the team. Reiterating that I think we'll see, not that I want to see: Pickford, Coleman, Holgate, Keane, Godfrey, midfield, Decore, Van der Beek and Gordon, Gray and Richarlison either side wide, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up top. What would you do, guys? Would you go back to back five? Would you see Patterson play? I'm sure a lot of people would, me included. Would you suggest that we start trying to look at bringing in and integrating a young player who can be a disruptive midfielder, someone from the academy? Because, you know, with Davies and Delph both out, I know they're both, well, Delph is at least on the way back in. You know, we get cut short a lot at the moment of not having the right midfielder in that position. Is it worth starting to look at our youth team and thinking, right, at least we've got someone there we can start integrating? Would you change anything up front? Iwobi, does he deserve a game? I don't know. Let me know. Hopefully, again, I can come back next week and say, well, that worked fantastically. Let's keep on going with this shape, these personnel, and fingers crossed.